Welcome to The Trend, a show that gives you the latest and greatest in trending news for the week. I'm your host, Emma Hazard, and this week we're going to talk about the Grammys, an Oscar-nominated movie, and more. All of this coming to you here on The Trend. The 67th annual Grammys happened on February 2nd, and people always have had a lot of opinions on what they think deserved to win and what didn't. The two biggest controversies were Best Country Album and Album of the Year. The recipient for both of those awards was for Beyoncé with her album Cowboy Carter. One user on X stated, quote, "Beyoncé winning Album of the Year with one of the weakest albums in the category after her husband begged for her to win last year is actually so embarrassing. I'm crying. Like, you tainted the win for yourself," end quote. And, quote, "Is this supposed to be country music?" While fans of Beyoncé were saying things like, quote, "TikTok mad Beyoncé won, but will be creating a new trend to one of her songs next week," end quote. It's safe to say people have many opinions on who they think should have won. However, one thing that isn't controversial is the amazing performances throughout the night from artists like Sabrina Carpenter, The Weeknd with Playboi Carti, Charli XCX, Janelle Monáe, and many more that kept the night electric. Overall, despite how people may feel regarding their favorite artists not winning an award they really hoped they were going to win, the night brought a lot of monumental wins for many categories. Emilia Perez is the frontrunner for the Oscars with 13 nominations, yet it is also surrounded by controversy. The movie is a musical crime comedy that follows a Mexican drug lord who fakes her death in order to pursue true freedom. Many found the concept of the film odd and had concerns over the film receiving so many nominations, especially when it won 4 awards at the Golden Globes. Fans also continue to mock a bizarre musical number from the film. A scene where a doctor sings about gender reassignment surgery continues to go viral. The biggest controversy comes from tweets posted by actress Carla Sofia Gascon, which were a combination of racist and Islamophobic statements. Many were upset that Gascon was so active for transgender rights while being openly racist and Islamophobic in her tweets. Fans fear that Gascon's actions will lead to the film having less success at the Oscars in March. Calling all former emo kids. This past week at an LA Fire Aid fundraiser presented by Phantom Planet, the lead singer of I Don't Know How But They Found Me, Dallin Weeks, reunited with former Panic at the Disco member Ryan Ross. Weeks, who is taking the stage at the Regent Theater in Los Angeles on February 1st, was joined on stage at the end of the night by Ross to team up and perform a cover of Do the Panic, a song originally by the band Phantom Planet, who was presenting the event. Fans online were freaking out over the reunion, one Twitter user claiming, quote, "As I live and breathe on God's green earth, I never thought I'd see the day," end quote. Other fans, however, couldn't help but think of current Panic at the Disco frontman Brendon Urie and how he would feel about the situation, seeing that he and the former 2 band members don't exactly get along anymore. This meetup was, quote, "Brendon Urie's worst nightmare," writes one Twitter user, and I agree. I hope that he addresses this when he makes his next video on Instagram. Looking for book recommendations? A.J. Brown has one that's breaking records. During the wild card game on January 13th, the Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver was seen taking time between plays to read some passages from Jim Murphy's self-help book, Inner Excellence. Published in May 2020, the book covers how to tackle anxiety and remove mental obstacles. In one of the mere few hours of Brown being photographed on the sideline, the book skyrocketed in popularity and reached to a #1 bestseller on Amazon. The author, Murphy, who has written various self-help books, shared his reaction stating, quote, "I was not expecting it, a real gift," end quote. When asked about the book, Brown stated, quote, "I found peace in the midst of chaos because the game was so violent. You need everything. So I'm just trying to slow my brain down," end quote. Since January 13th, over 100,000 copies of Inner Excellence have been sold, and the numbers continue to soar. Seems like this book may be the answer to reaching the Super Bowl. This past weekend, multiple NHL teams have been a trending topic in a not-so-positive way. Mixing politics and sports has been a hot topic these past years, and after the recent inauguration of 47th President Donald Trump, they are once again a topic of online debate. On February 2nd, fans booed the American national anthem before NHL and NBA games in Canada to protest Trump's controversial tariff threats against Mexico and Canada. President Trump's administration has initiated a rapid series of policies in the first few weeks of 2025, something people from around the globe have protested on social media. The 2024 Stanley Cup champions, the Florida Panthers, have been recently ridiculed by some of these protests on social media for visiting the White House after winning the Cup, a tradition that has been extended to the victors of each of the four major sports. Visiting the White House after winning the championship is an invitation the president extends to these athletes. The Panthers have come under fire for accepting the invitation, with some on social media saying, quote, "Fun sports and politics don't mix though, right?" Especially since the NHL has come under recent fire for their policies on Pride warm-up jerseys and tape or Black History Night. Here on The Trend, we do not typically discuss sports, but the NHL has been on thin ice with multiple controversies on social media. That's all we have for this week on The Trend, but tune in next time for more on the latest and greatest trending topics. Oh, and happy Valentine's Day. Go watch a rom-com and stuff your face with chocolate.